Okay, we are on yet again the next part, and this one is from Josephus of the early kings of Egypt and the Egyptian era. All the kings of the Egyptians from Mynaeus, the founder of Memphis, who lived many years before Abraham, our ancestor, okay, that makes sense, to Solomon, extending through an interval of more than 1,300 years, bore the title of pharaohs. Okay, so this account is saying that he's like legendary, or well, not legendary, but that he's like one of the demigods, or it's kind of implicit because of his long lifespan, I'm assuming, and that he ruled in Egypt all this time. But obviously it could be an exaggeration. Again, another like compilation of a bunch of different kings. Because from Abraham to Solomon is honestly a long time. But okay, so this is from Malala. I don't know who actually that is. The first king of the Egyptians was Pharaoh, of the tribe of Ham, the son of Noah. He is also called Narasho. So Pharaoh is called Narasho or Noah. Interesting. Alright, well, I don't really know what to make of that. I don't know who that is, honestly. I mean, we could look him up. Oh, this is from Suidas. Hephaestus, a god, also fire. After the death of Hermes, king of Egypt, Hephaestus obtained possession of the empire 1,680 days. So it's like about 5.5 years. Oh, 4 years. 4 years, 7 months, and 8 days. For the Egyptians in those times were not in the habit of measuring time by the year, but called the period of the day a year. Okay. From Diogenes Laertius. The Egyptians say that Hephaestus was the son of Nilus, and that he invented philosophy, of which the followers were called priests and prophets. From him to the time of Alexander the Macedonian elapsed 48,863 years, in which occurred 373 solar eclipses and 832 lunar eclipses. Okay. That's curious why they keep track of that. That's good. This is from Disherchus. I can't pronounce that. Disarchus? I'm not saying it right. In his first book says that after Horus, the son of Osiris and Isis, reigned Sesostris, and that from the reign of Sesostris to that of Nilus elapsed a period of 2,500 years, and from the reign of Nilus to the first Olympiad 436 years, so that altogether the number of years amounted to 2,936. Dicaearchus moreover says that he established laws that no one should leave the profession of his fathers, for he believed that such a proceeding would be introduction of avarice. He was the first who discovered the art of riding upon horseback. Oh, okay. So they're implicitly saying here, at least this guy, right? Dicaearchus or Dicaearchus, I don't know how to say it, but he's saying that Egyptians invented horseback. Could be independently, but I mean, I don't know. I recently went to a museum looking at some of like the kind of like native animals of North America from like the period of the Ice Age, so from like roughly 50,000 years ago to about, I'd say 15 to 10,000 years ago, right? So that period is like the Holocene, which is the latest ice age, and then you have this like kind of like a kind of warming period, right? So obviously the end of an ice age, right, would be when temperatures start rising and ice starts melting. That would be the end of the ice age. So taking that information, right, so things start heating up, and then they say that there's like based on like ice cores, and I don't know if they're like zircon crystals. I think they could possibly like be read on zircon crystals. It could be written on or what is it called? Read on like tree stumps. Sometimes the aging could maybe affect, or like the depending on the layer of like how maybe damaged or colored, discolored it is, could tell you like what kind of atmosphere was around during that time. But that could be true. But if you look at maybe like at sequoia, you know, just those giant like either sequoia trees, or you got like the redwood trees, right? You just look at that dating on those, because those trees could be possibly like super old. I don't really know how exactly, but anyways, aside from looking at that and how we read like dating and stuff like that, right? They have this warming period, and then we have like some of the kind of like shifts in temperature, and then you see like different type of animals. So what I was saying was like, you know, with horseback, and I saw like at this museum for like North American animals that there were small horses that were native to North America. But see, when the Europeans got there, and this was told to me by one of my professors, and he was a doctor, and he told me, I actually raised my hand asking the question. I was like, hey, did they have any like horses, or like I forgot what else I said. I think I said goats or something like that. But he said no. He said when the Europeans got there, there were no horses. There's no horses that were like native, so to speak. That's what I was told. He could have like I don't know if he could have like misspoke by accident or something like that, but that dude was a doctor, and he told me that. And he told me that horses are not native to the Americas. But you see, this museum I went to was saying quite the opposite, saying that during the Ice Age, there actually was once horses, but they either went extinct or who knows what. See, that's very curious of how these things go extinct. I don't know if this video is ready for that, but maybe when I take a look at another book, we can get more into detail about it. Because like, this relates back to all this stuff, right? So depicting like the animals and stuff like that, you got to pay attention like very, very closely to what some of these like ancient glyphs and stuff like that are out there in those lands, what kind of animals they have and what kind of animals they don't have. And if it's animals that they don't have, that wouldn't rule out that those animals would not be there, such as we see the case with horses. When the Europeans get to the Americas, they don't see any horses. Sorry for that super long explanation. I kind of wanted to break all that down, because it's a lot to think about, especially when you take in like different time periods of like not only animals, but just like the way people wrote down stuff and what they saw. But again, there's just another tangent. So others, however, attribute these things to Horus. From Artapanus in his work concerning the J word says that after the death of Abraham and his son, as well as Memsathenoth, the king of the Egyptians, his son Palmonothes assumed the crown, and he carried himself with a great severity towards the J words, and he compelled them first to build Kessa. Okay, where did we see this? What was this? darn it. Oh, this was a really important city. I think this is one of the words for Babylon or Assyria. Or was it Heliopolis? Oh man, this is such an important city. Darn it. I don't want to like scroll back up because that's gonna be that we're gonna waste a whole video doing that. But there was a city that was really important. It started with a K. It was dude, what was it? I don't want to say it was Babylon, but it was like part of the Assyrian Empire. Darn it. I wish I remembered. And to construct the temple that is therein, and also the temple in Heliopolis. He had a daughter whose name was Maris, who was married to a king named Shenephrus, then reigning in Memphis. For there were at a time several kings in Egypt, and as she was barren, she brought up a child of the J word, and named it Moses. But when he arrived at manhood, he was called among the Greeks Moseos. Okay, so, and this is the Moses who they say was the instructor of Orpheus. I guess breaking that down, if this is true, right? If Moses does come from the word Greek, then it's definitely possible that like Moses could have had a different name. I could just be throwing that out there. Let me see. Let's take a look at that. With the AI, check that out. We got some pictures. Turned me into a superhero. I look like that, by the way. I look exactly like that. Let's see here. Where does the name Moses originate? I'm gonna. It'll probably like tell me. I want to see actually if it tells me. If it tells me like if it derives from Hebrew first, because I'm pretty sure it comes from the Greeks, but I don't know. Let's see what it thinks. Check that out. It does some cool stuff. Investigating. It's investigating the name. Okay, so has Hebrew origins. Oh, it doesn't even mention Greek. Whoa, dude, we just triggered a PSYOP event. I'm just kidding. No, but let me see. Let me look up. What I don't know how to. Is there like an alt shortcut for the AE word? I don't know how to. I don't know how to use that. Isn't that how like Elon Musk's kid's name is? Something like that. Is it from the Greek word moos? What? A-E-U-S. And then I'm gonna tell him, but the A-E is that one letter thing. Yeah, I'll just put that. Like Elon Musk's kid, right? Something like that. Okay, let's see what it says. I have it on Pro right now, so it's like doing a bunch of thinking, I guess. Which I think it's actually better that it does that. I think it should always like be like that, but you have to pay for the premium version. Let's see here. Separate linguistic roots. Let me read. Come from the name of say it's your Cory characterized historical connection made between two figures. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so here it is. This name is purely Greek. So Mauseus. It means of the muses, the goddesses of poetry, art, and science in Greek mythology. The muses? Often associated with the religious rites of the Eleusinian mysteries and considered a foundational figure in Greek culture, as sometimes the teacher disciple of Orpheus. Okay, well, I don't really know my mythology too much, so. Linguistically, there's no path from the Greek Musaios to the Hebrew Moshe, or its Egyptian precursor. Hellenistic connection, why the two were linked. Well, oh look, it pulls out what we're looking at right now. Well, no, they're saying it's a goddess, and it's like, I don't know, is this according to Homer? Hold on, let me pull that up real quick. How do I pull up that window? Oh, there we go. We should like separate the tabs. Okay, so is this according to Homer? Right? I mean, like, isn't Homer supposed to be like the figure author of like all the mythology? Something went wrong. Dude, it's like, it's rejecting that question. it's like, dude, you know too much. I'm just kidding. I don't know what's going on. I think I have to refresh it. Actually, let me try refreshing it. But let me copy this and then refresh it. I'm gonna screw it up by accident. Okay, let's see. Just a sec. That's another excellent clarifying question. No, this account is not from the mythology recorded by Homer. The attempt to link Moses with Musaeus comes from a much later historical period and serves a very different purpose than Homer's epics. Okay, so where does it talk about Musaeus? Oh, dude, it got too wordy. Hold on. He would have had no knowledge of the Hebrew scriptures. Yeah, obviously. Well, not obviously, but I mean, obviously they're not gonna make it. Excuse me. They're not gonna make any connection of the freaking Levant and the Aegean. But aside from that, I'm trying to see. Dude, it's like freaking throwing words at me. This, like, it explains like everything except. So who wrote it? It doesn't really say who wrote it, right? Okay, who originally wrote about Musaeus? Let's see. Dude, I'm gonna run out of pro. Watch. I don't wanna pay for this. The earliest writers who wrote about Musaeus. Key figures who wrote about Musaeus was Herodotus, and most crucial accounts of history. In his histories, Herodotus tells us that Onomacritus, who was hired by the Tyrian Hipparchus to collect the oracles of Musaeus. Herodotus reports that this person was caught inserting a forgery into the collection. Okay, that's not what we're trying to get to. In Protagoras, Musaeus is listed alongside Homer and Hesiod of an ancient poet who used their art to conceal profound philosophical wisdom. I mean, that kind of sounds like someone would be like Moses, but I mean, it's hard to say like in factual fact what happened in history. You know what I mean? I mean, you could just speculate forever, but trying to get to the conclusion of what people are saying and not saying at different time periods is really important. In conclusion, we have no original authenticated work by Musaeus. Our earliest important information comes from Herodotus. Yeah, but okay, so can you? I'm gonna ask you one more question. We'll probably like ask it. So, can you elaborate on Herodotus's account? Let's see here. Which else should I ask you? Let me think. Or should I click on the sources? Let me see. No, it's not gonna give me quick answers. I don't have to dig. Like I said, it takes too long to dig around. Let's see here. Can you elaborate on Herodotus's account? Shoot, I don't know what else to ask it. There's something I really want to ask it, but I don't know how to word it. Is Musaeus, like, if I say this, it's gonna lead me a certain direction. A female in this account. Like, it'll zoom in too much on if I like ask it a particular question. That's the problem sometimes with these things. I'm trying to hurry up because we haven't even read any of this freaking book yet. I keep doing this, but I mean, honestly, it's really interesting to know and like what these books are saying. Okay. Whoa. Okay, so this earlier it was telling me that Musaeus was like a female goddess of like something, and then now it's telling me that according to Herodotus's account, Musaeus was a male figure, and then so then an ant gave me a wrong answer. What is it? What a bunch of garbage! Dang, freaking AI messed up today, because that's like a critical thing. I mean, like to say that it's a female at first. I mean, there's probably already been obvious, like journal articles written about how this like stuff doesn't connect, and there's like, oh, it's separate, but I don't know, man. A man divinely inspired by these female deities. So, okay, so of the muses. Okay, that's interesting. Alright, well, I guess we got that clarified a little bit. Let me pull it aside. I think we probably ran out of juice for the pro version, so so it says that this is like a follower of these like goddesses, and that he taught Orpheus, and I don't really know who Orpheus is, honestly. I haven't really read into that. So this is from Plato. The transactions of this city, our city of Sais, are recorded in our sacred writings during a period of 8,000 years. Okay, so let me read this footer real quick. By Eusebius, Clemens, and Paschal Chronicle, the Cedrinus, the name is variously written Xenophrys, Neshephrys, and Sherman. Okay, that's just a part of the king list. Eusebius also in the Armenian Chronicle expresses his opinion that many of the dynasties were contemporary and not successive. Okay, so in Eusebius's accounts, he notes that. What I'm assuming this is saying is like they're contemporary, and that there's a bunch of kingdoms with these kings, and they ruled like at the same time, but in different states of like the whole Armenian region, I guess, trying to like claim the throne, I guess. I don't really know. But to record their like bloodlines for all of them, like, that's interesting. Why they kept like all the Armenian bloodlines and not just like one empirical one. Interestingly enough, because they don't really say that about the Egyptians at all. They say the Egyptians are just like successive, and there's either, if it's not successive, it's like a turbulent period with a lot of rebellion, which is typical. But that's interesting to note that the like most of the Armenian chronicles, according to Eusebius, is contemporary with each other. It's really interesting. I can't piece that together, to be honest, though. Okay, so this is from Pomponius Mela. The Egyptians, according to their own accounts, are the most ancient of men, and they reckon in their series of annals 330 kings who reigned above 13,000 years. And they preserve in written records the memory of the event that since the commencement of the Egyptian race, the stars have completed 4 revolutions, and the sun has set twice where he now rises. The stars have completed 4 revolutions. That's every 2,000 years, right? How long is a revolution? Hold on, I gotta refresh this thing real quick. Let's some like bugs out. Okay. Oh yeah, see, I reached my limit with the AI Pro. We'll just do the Flash. This is a pretty easy question too. Just have some easy ones. Okay. How long is the time of the stars of the stars completing one revolution? Or is that 10,000 years? No, that would be like 26,000 years if it's 2,000 years for the whole zodiac, right? Is that how it works? Because the zodiac split up in 12. Okay, let's ask this. Okay, the sidereal day. Oh, that's what that means. The most direct answer to your question refers to the sidereal day, which is the time it takes for the Earth to complete one full 360-degree rotation on its axis relative to a distant star. What? Oh. Okay, so a sidereal day is approximately 23 hours, 56 minutes, and 4.1 seconds. This is about 4 minutes shorter than the standard 24-hour day. The reason for this difference is, okay, yeah, because of the axes. Okay, so this is what we're looking for. It is also possible that revolution could be misinterpreted as referring to the life cycle of a star. Okay. Darn it. That was not what we were looking for. I think I know what it's saying. No, I think it's... let me ask you, how long would it be for a star to revolve around the Earth? What do I put? There's a certain, like, there's this way they're saying is a sidereal year, which is like the 24-hour system that we have, but there's another way of, like, the stars we like wrap around the universe type of thing, and that happens like every 2,000 years according to, like, around the, I don't even know how to explain this. So I say like the astrology. No, I am referring to the, I think, zodiac. I'm just gonna put zodiacal cycle, which I think it's like, okay, so according to like some esoteric authors, it's like every 2,000 years. According to some esoteric authors, to be 2,000 years or so. Okay. Yeah, here we go. I think it's astrological age. That's what I meant. This is the Earth's axis. Okay, so conical wobble, much like spinning is slow down. This wobble takes a very long time to complete a full cycle. The period of this cycle, known as the Great or Platonic Year, is 25,920 years. In esoteric and astrological traditions, this 25,920 year cycle is divided into 12 segments, corresponding to the 12 signs of the zodiac. Each of these segments or ages is therefore 2,160 years. So yeah, this is what I'm talking about. So yes, yeah, this is according to all this like biblical stuff. This is why I say like that Old Testament stuff is like all like symbology of the zodiac. Because look at this. I mean, you have like them blowing the ram horn, and then before the ram is the age of Taurus, the bull, the golden calf, right? This is all like, and then they say like Jesus is a fisherman. Like it's the whole thing like all like the astrology. I mean, I hate to tell you people, but that's what it literally is saying. So I don't know what to tell people. Anyways, so this is saying that the stars have completed 4 revolutions. That would have been, it would have either been 8,000. Shoot, we're already at like 30 minutes. I'm gonna ask it one more thing real quick. Then see what kind of data it gives me. Because it's either 4 revolutions, right? So 4 times what, 25,000, which is like 104,000 years, or it could be roughly like 8,500 years or something, according to like whatever they're talking about. So let me see if I can just copy this real quick and then put it in the AI real quick. Let me see. I don't even think I can Control C. Actually, it's not gonna let me Control C because I'm doing like snipping tool. All right, so how many years would be? The stars have completed 4 revolutions, and the sun has twice set where he now rises. See what that means. This statement, okay, appears to be a metaphor. Yeah, see, oh shoot. The sun has set twice where now he now. If it twice set where he now rises, it means where the 2 occasions when the sun's daily path was reversed from its current pattern. From it, what? Dude, what is this saying? Wait a minute. Can you explain more about twice set where he now rises? This would, okay, when the priests described this, they weren't necessarily speaking of a physical reversal of the Earth's rotation. Sorry, I paused for a moment. I was just kind of like, I don't know, that's weird. So, yeah, so it's saying, Our history is so long that the very nature of the cosmos has shifted and reshifted, yet our culture has remained unchanged. Okay, so yeah, it's just that's kind of like the gravity of that whole sentence was very huge. But this is interesting. The reversal of the sun's path represents a radical shift in the cosmic balance, a world turned upside down. It symbolizes a time of great upheaval, chaos, or new creation. This idea resonates in other ancient myths as well. Okay, so a reversal of the sun's path is associated with a pole shift, or a cataclysmic event that would alter the Earth's physical orientation. Dude, what? They said that thousands of years ago. They said this. Like, that would mean, like, this cataclysmic event, like they metaphorically meant it, but like it could have literally like shifted the whole like tectonic plates or whatever the crap you want to call it. And like when it says like when the sun set twice, it's like it was like spinning one way and then it like flipped upside down, so that like when the sun, dude, for them to say that thousands of years ago, like, what, dude? Like, okay, I guess we'll just end it there. That was a really crazy statement. That actually kind of like shocked me a little bit. The sun has twice set where he now rises. Like these are what people are saying today. Where like a cataclysmic event like occurred and like it caused like all this like flooding and like all these ice cores, right? And then you have this like just shift in temperatures. It's just like really shocking to say, like, to say that it like twice set. Like you like I didn't really think about like how that would work. I mean, I guess like, you know, the cataclysmic event, right? But like to say that like, dude, it flipped upside down and there was, that's crazy. And like you'd only understand that if like you knew somebody who could understand this, or like if you had the AI today. That's crazy. Alright, I'm gonna end it here and then we'll continue with Herodotus down here.